Hey guys, in today's video, I'm making a video about Deep Rock Galactic, a game you may or may not have heard of that has kind of been making the rounds, even though it's not like brand new. Um, so, Deep Rock Galactic is a 4-player co-op game where you play as dwarves and you mine and you have different mission objectives depending on the mission. And as the slogan goes, it is Danger, Darkness, Dwarves. Now, Deep Rock recently hit my radar a couple of months ago. A bunch of my friends were playing it, and it was on Game Pass, so I figured, they have room for one more. Might as well install it, see what all the fuss is about. And Deep Rock is actually quite an incredible game. Probably not everyone's cup of tea. I know that my girlfriend doesn't like the look of it, and that's fine. But I think the amount of effort and care that's gone into Deep Rock Galactic is quite incredible, honestly. So I figured I'd make a video on it. It is a game that I plan on 100%ing at some point. Even, like, some of the achievements are a bit rough. We'll get into that. But, like, even just the game in general is just very fun. But yeah, without further ado, let's talk about Deep Rock Galactic. Danger, Darkness, and Dwarves. The gameplay in Deep Rock is that of a first-person shooter. At a base level, you have 4 classes to pick from. Gunner, Driller, Engineer, and Scout. I have only played as Gunner and Driller as of right now. And I've recently tried the Scout out. The last time I played, I think I started playing the Scout. So it is basically a first-person shooter when looked at at a basic level. You have your primary, your secondary, and you shoot things. Obviously there's more to it to that, though. There's 4 classes. Each class has different guns that you can unlock, has different abilities and stuff. So, for example, the engineer can build turrets. The driller obviously has a pair of drills that allows for quick drilling and traversal of levels. The scout has a grappling hook and a flare gun. The gunner has a shield, and I can't remember what else it has. A grappling line for everyone to use. So you pick a class, and there are different guns to use. You have to unlock the guns. You're not just given everything at once. Thankfully, though, you're still earning XP and stuff as you go for the weapons and all that, so it's not like the game makes you earn currency or anything for them. That's after you unlock them. But by the time you unlock them, I have usually found that you already have enough to get them. But the gameplay is good, and the gameplay is good for a few reasons. One being smoothness. No one likes to pick up an FPS and it controls like jank, or shots don't register or stuff like that. I've never encountered issues like that in Deep Rock. I've never shot at enemies and not had things register, or had things go jank on me or break on me or anything. So, first and foremost, the game works. Secondly, the enemies vary. Now, when you first start playing, it seems like all the enemies are the same, because obviously you start on the easiest of easy. As you ramp up difficulties, as you ramp up cave complexity, hazard level, all that good jazz, you get to have variations of your regular enemy. You get different enemies. So the variation is definitely there. Every incursion is in some way probably going to be different, whether that's enemies or whether that's map. And that's where the third thing comes into Deep Rock, is that whenever you deploy on a mission, there are different areas on the map that you can pick from, but they cycle in and out. So there will always be like 2 or 3 areas that are not available, and they cycle over in real time. So I think it's every 30 minutes they change. So you might go from an icy biome to a sand biome to a swampy biome. So the game constantly cycles every 30 minutes to make sure you can't just stay in the same area too long. Kind of like how Payday 2 has the CrimeNet map, which just pops up random heists for you unless you are willing to pay offshore to do a specific heist. So the game constantly cycles the map for you to prevent you from repeating the same thing and getting bored of seeing the same thing over and over and over again. The next thing that makes the gameplay great is the fact that there are obviously 4 classes to pick from, and they all control on a base level at the same, because it's a first-person shooter. But after you get past that barrier, they're all completely different. You know, the gunner is made for killing enemies. You know, the driller is very good on refining morkite missions where you need to place pipes and stuff, because you can just drill the pathway. The scout is really good at keeping caves lit up, but is very squishy and has low health. The engineer is great for defense missions because turrets. So Deep Rock has all these elements that make every incursion different, and then when you add on top of that, you can unlock different weapons, and then there's different combinations of those weapons with different attachments for those weapons or different upgrades for those weapons. All of a sudden, Deep Rock becomes this really good mishmash of all these different things that make the gameplay as fun as it is. And when the gameplay is as fun as it is, that's when Deep Rock Galactic can allow itself to be one of those games where it becomes a grind. And when I say a grind, some people might take that negatively and be like, oh, great, it's one of those games like GTA Online where I have to redo the same thing 25 times just to get one weapon or this much money. It's not a negative grind, it's a good grind. One of the reasons that Deep Rock is so replayable is because there's always something to earn or to do. So the main one being new weapons, primaries and secondaries. Once you have the primaries and secondaries, the next obvious thing to go for is leveling up the classes. So by leveling up your classes, let's say you really enjoy playing Scout. So you keep playing Scout every time you go on a mission with friends or whatever, you always play Scout. And eventually you hit level 25, I think it is. It's been a while. When you hit level 25, you unlock a assignment. And if you complete that assignment, you can then prestige. It's known as promotion, but it is basically prestiging. You can promote that class, and it earns a promotion level. And you can do that a bunch of times. For every class as well. So there's always something to work towards. You've got the weapons, then you've got the level grind for the actual classes themselves, which if you are going for 100% completion, you will need to do every class, and there are a lot of promotions to get through. Then on top of that, you can get ingredients to make different beers and alcohol, which have different effects, and you can just mess around with in the space rig, which is incredibly fun. You also have, I can't remember what they're called. They're like modifications for weapons. They can be good, bad, really good, really bad, even. I can't remember what they are called because I only recently unlocked them the last time I was playing. People who've played Deep Rock will know what I'm on about probably. I can't remember what they're called. I think they're called cores, I think. That's the other thing you grind for. So when you start to get into the game a bit and you've leveled your classes up a bit, you start to be able to earn cores. And cores are usually upgrades for weapons, but they can be very, very good. Just good with a bit of a negative trade-off, which is more equal. And then you've got like the bad ones then that would be like, you know, it's not great. Like you get something, but the negatives outweigh the positives. That's the next thing you go for to really optimize your classes and optimize your builds, I guess you'd call them. But because the gameplay's so fun and so replayable, not repetitive, the grind is almost excused because you love playing it so much. And then when you throw in the PvE element, it's a lot less stressful than grinding a multiplayer game. So what I often find with games like Fortnite and games like even Halo Infinite, if you want to go back to when I was playing that, they all have battle passes, obviously, and those battle passes have things that I want. But the problem is, if I want those things in the battle pass, 90% of the time, I have to play against actual people, which is not a problem. I'm not against multiplayer games in any sense. I don't mind a bit of PvP. The problem is, when you play 10 games in a row, and out of those 10 games, in 9 of them you got curb stomped, it just makes you not want to play anymore. But then you look at the battle pass, you look at the items that you really, really want, and you think, well, I have to keep playing because I want the stuff. But then that becomes a negative grind, not a positive grind. You're not enjoying the experience, you're just dealing with it because you want the stuff. The minute you have the items, you have the skin you really want, you have the weapon skin you really want, you have whatever, the emote. Once you have it, you have no reason to keep playing that night or that evening, that day, whatever, because you're not enjoying it. You're only doing it and suffering through the losses because you want the Battle Pass XP to progress. Once you have the thing you want, you're going to go, okay, cool, call it a night now, bye. And, like, that's so pointless. Whereas with Deep Rock, because it's PvE, it's a lot more, I wouldn't say easy, it's a lot more bearable. You know, you can have missions and incursions that go terribly wrong all the way through, and you can even fail them. But when it's not against real, actual, living people, and it's just against AI, it's a lot more bearable, I suppose, because you don't feel like you're getting beaten to a pulp by another person. You know, someone who's just curb stomping you and walking all over your team. Instead, it's like, it's AI, you know, we can learn how to deal with this particular enemy type, or we can learn how to deal with this particular biome. You know, we can practice because it's not going to change. You know, the next time we come across it, we'll understand how to deal with it, or we'll be, you know, better equipped to deal with it. Whereas when you go up against real people, that experience is different every single time. So you can learn, but that knowledge isn't always going to help you through. And then, by extension, the grind on, like, I don't know, Fortnite becomes miserable, whereas the grind on Deep Rock is just enjoyable. You know, I've never gotten bored of it. You know, it's very fun. I plan on going back to it very soon. And obviously with the PvE then, leans into the co-op. So at the start of the video, I mentioned that Deep Rock is a 4-player game. It doesn't have to be. You can play solo. You can play solo with an AI called Bosco, who's a robot who will basically help you out on missions, can carry stuff. You can upgrade him as well, which is quite fun. They didn't just slap him in for solo players. You can play in public lobbies if you haven't got any friends. I'm not sure if the public lobbies are actually alive. I would like to think so, considering how big this game is at the moment. Or you can get a group of friends, which is what we do. Playing with 4 people is far more enjoyable than playing solo, in my personal opinion. I don't mind playing solo, but what I find is solo incursions take way longer when you're by yourself, and they're also just a bit, like, lonely. I don't know if that's, like, sad or anything. Like, I don't mean it in a sad way. I just mean when it's just you and Bosco and you're by yourself, it kind of feels almost empty. Like, you don't have the other 3 teammates to, like, talk to, and you're all just catching up while you're playing this chill mining game. I don't know. Like, Deep Rock is made to be played solo or co-op, and that's great. That's why it's such a good game, because it thinks of everything. But personally, I think co-op with at least one other person or more is the way to go. Obviously, if you don't have anyone that plays this game, or you don't have that many friends, then you are going to be going solo or in public lobbies. But who knows? Maybe you'll go into a public lobby, meet someone, you know, hit up a conversation, and then you've got a new friend to play Deep Rock with. Who knows? So, yeah, the gameplay, the grind, the player versus enemy, and the co-op all tie into the gameplay. You know, the gameplay's got all this customization, all these different options, which then allows the grind to be as grindy as it is, because it can be a bit grindy with the promotions. But because of how different the gameplay can be every time you play, it's almost excused. The player first enemy means it's not frustrating. You don't feel like you're getting bullied and curb stomped every time you play. You can learn if it's a new enemy and you all die, then you know, you look it up, or you look it up in the database on the game, you learn about it, you know what to do next time. And then co-op then is how I would recommend you play this game, but it's up to you. I personally find it more enjoyable, you might not. Now, you might remember that I said the Deep Rock has a bit of a grind, and it's not just for the levels, and it's not just for the new weapons, but there is also a battle pass and customization to go for, and this is split into 2 ways. You have the normal in-game currency and stuff that you earn by doing, you know, everything, basically, and you can buy items that are in a shop. The other way you get stuff is the battle pass that comes around every so often, and the battle pass in this game is completely free, 100% free. You know, there's an item on every single tier, and it's free. You don't pay for it. Every battle pass is free. That is incredible in this day of modern gaming, where every battle pass has a free tier that is usually terrible, and then the premium pass costs like 5, 6 upwards pounds, whatever, or in-game currency or whatever. So for Deep Rock to just come out and stick it to everyone else and go, you know what, our battle pass is free, whoop-de-doo, and what, you know, that's quite big to me. Like, you know, it means you never miss out. Obviously, if you miss the season, then yes, you miss out, duh. But like, while you're playing, you're always earning XP towards that battle pass, and you're getting everything out of it. You're not looking at the premium tier and going, do I buy it, do I not, because the next season's going to come out in a couple of months and there's going to be other stuff that I want again, and then you fall into the loop of constantly giving this game money. Not that I don't think Deep Rock deserves it, but the fact that the battle pass is completely 100% free is just incredible. The customization as well in this game is really, really fun. You can customize your dwarf's beard, skin color, beard color, everything from armor to helmet, all that good jazz. You can come up with some right wacky looks. And that kind of leads me on to like the love and care this game has, which, as I said at the start of the video, Deep Rock Galactic has, you know, the devs have done such a good job. Like, the love and care that has gone into this game is really, really felt. You can tell that someone made Deep Rock because they wanted to make Deep Rock, not because they had a quota to fulfill, or because they had higher-ups breathing down their neck being like, we need sales to hit X, Y, and Z. Someone just said, you know what, I want to make a space game with 4 dwarves mining in space with guns, and then did it, and then it's just incredible. It's one of those games you can tell it was made because someone had a passion to make a video game, not because they wanted to make money. You know, I find so often nowadays that AAA titles like, you know, Payday 3 is a recent example and stuff, or Call of Duty or anything, come out half broken, half working because they have quotas to fulfill, they have deadlines to hit. And, you know, deadlines I understand, but if the game doesn't work, then the game shouldn't be released. It should be postponed, pushed back, end of story. You know, but that doesn't happen because you have higher-ups and people in suits being like, we need to hit this deadline to make this amount of money. If we miss this, then we miss the peak of whatever, and less people are going to buy the game, and the hype is going to go down if we delay it again. I mean, just look at what happened with Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is one of my absolute favourite games, and when it released, it was absolutely god-awful terrible. I waited like 2 years before I bought Cyberpunk. Is it great now? Yes. Is it even greater now because Phantom Liberty just came out? Yes. You know, it's incredible. But would I have bought it at launch? Absolutely not. And it just goes to show that when devs don't have that stress, devs aren't worried about, oh no, X, Y, and Z in suits are going to come down on us like a ton of bricks because we're going to have to tell them we need to delay this game for a 3rd time because this just isn't working and this is broken. When they don't have that stress, they can enjoy making the video game. They can put the passion into the video game, and you feel that in Deep Rock. You know, it feels like someone wanted to make a video game. It doesn't feel like someone had an idea and then went to some fancy business and they were like, okay, cool, you have until this date and it needs to make this much money or you're fired and we're taking your family hostage. You know, like, Deep Rock just is incredible. The love and care into this game is absolutely brilliant. And then the soundtrack absolutely slaps. The soundtrack to Deep Rock is absolutely incredible. You know, I have no idea what any of the tracks are called. I just know they're all great because I love this game. It's such a game to vibe to. If you haven't listened to the Deep Rock soundtrack, highly recommend it. It's so good. But that's just another level of, you know, love and care. Good gameplay, good soundtrack. You know, I love the art style. You know, there are very few bugs, and when there are constantly patch notes out where they're fixing things. You know, free battle pass, free customization, you know, a really fun grind. There's like literally nothing in Deep Rock to not like. And that's why I love it so much. It's just such a good example of what a video game should be. I made this because I wanted to, and because I enjoyed the idea and I enjoyed creating it, not because I had an idea and I wanted to make money. The money was the second thought. Finishing the project was the first thought. And that's how video game development should be. You know, you should make video games because you want to. I understand that people need to make money, you know, because the industry is constantly turning and all that, but at the same time, you know, so many games nowadays have just released half broken, half working, you know, completely broken, you know, wonky as anything, or stuff like that, and it just, it's so nice to come across a game that works and you can tell has had love, care, attention put into it, right down to fine details. Just Deep Rock is just incredible, you know, absolutely incredible. The achievements in the game aren't awful. There are a lot of grindy ones that go along with the grind. So, like I said earlier, if you want to 100% this game, you are going to have to promote every single class up to the maximum promotion level, which is going to take you quite a while. There are a couple of annoying achievements. Get 3,000 on the barrel game, on the space rig in under 100 throws, and some other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head, but I vaguely remember what to do for them. I just haven't done them yet. But overall, completion difficulty-wise, probably like a 7.5, maybe an 8 out of 10, you know. I try not to rate games in numbers, but like it's not awful. Like Deep Rock is not a hard completion, it's just a tedious one. But when you have 3 mates and you just got the soundtrack vibing and you're just chilling and not thinking about the achievements but rather just enjoying the game, I'm sure the grind for those achievements will go by so much faster for you. And I think that's everything on Deep Rock. I love this game. I think it's absolutely incredible. I think the love, care, and attention to detail is absolutely out of this world. I think that the devs of Deep Rock deserve all the success that they have with this game. I'm pretty sure they're making a new game. I can't remember what it's called, but I'm pretty sure I read something the other day that they're making a new game. So let's hope that when that comes out and launches, it's just as successful as Deep Rock is. But I would highly, highly recommend this game. It's on Game Pass. So if you have Game Pass, you don't have to buy it. You can just install it. Get your buddies to install it. You know, get on, chill. Enjoy the grind, enjoy the gameplay, enjoy learning how to play the game. And just have fun. Genuine, just slap the soundtrack on, get on with 3 buddies, and just chat shit and play this really fun, you know, dwarf mining game with guns. Because it is incredible. It is a really, really good game. I really do mean that. And I think that's everything, guys. I can't think of anything else to say about Deep Rock. I just love it. I think that this is how video game development should be. You know, you can feel that someone made Deep Rock because they wanted to, not because they were thinking about the paycheck at the end of the month. And that's how video game development should be. So I guess that's it. You know, Deep Rock Galactic is a perfect example of what video game development should be. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, lets me know that you enjoyed it, and you know, I know that I'm doing a good job. You know, if you disagree with me and you don't like Deep Rock for any reason, then I'd be very curious as to what that reason is, because I myself can't find any major flaws with the game. Maybe it's just not your cup of tea, and that's absolutely fine. Just because I think it's brilliant, that doesn't mean you have to enjoy it. But you know, let me know down in the comments if you agree, disagree, yeah, I think that's everything, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're new around here, then maybe consider subscribing, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. Take it easy, stay safe, and much love.